Hey, welcome back to Scott's Wing Tour City, ladies and gentlemen. I'm back with my dad today. As I promised you last week, it is the Terry Jewell special this week on YouTube. So let's get into the Kentucky and Pittsburgh Steelers predictions. Starting with the first game of the season at home against Toledo, I will take Kentucky. I think Kentucky's a better team here, so I will take Kentucky at home over Toledo.
From my boy Terry Jewell, I'll also take Kentucky over Toledo. They're going to get a win against the MAC and make the SEC proud.
Next up at home against Ole Miss. Last year they went into Oxford and pulled off the upset. This year, I'm going to take Kentucky to win again. I think the loss of Jackson Dart's going to hurt them. I will take Kentucky at home over Ole Miss.
And I'm going to agree with Scott. For my man Terry Jewell, I think they're going to upset Ole Miss again. Jackson Dart is going to be a big loss. Kentucky's going to have a good defense and get a second win at home.
Next up, at home against Eastern Michigan, they got 3-0. I think Kentucky will be in the top 25 after 3 straight wins, because that's what the polls like to do. They like to rank these SEC teams that they think are good, and then they turn into being average teams. So I'll take Kentucky over Eastern Michigan.
We'll swipe at the SEC. I also agree.
No, just the committee in the polls.
Gotcha. All right. I also agree that Kentucky's going to beat Eastern Michigan and go 3-0. Kentucky's off to a good start.
And unfortunately, here comes the tough part of the schedule. As they go on the road to Columbia to take on South Carolina. My Heisman Trophy pick this year, Lenore Sellers and South Carolina. I will take South Carolina at home over Kentucky.
Sorry, Terry Jewell. I've got to go with Scott on this one. South Carolina's going to be just too good, and it's on the road. I got to take the Gamecocks in this one. Kentucky's 3-1 now.
Next up, on the road at Georgia. I will also take Georgia. I think Georgia's going to be probably a pretty good team this year. They got a new quarterback, but he'll have some experience coming in by October. So I will take Georgia at home over Kentucky.
Terry, as much as I want to take Kentucky in this game, I can't pick them on the road against Georgia. So I'm going to take Georgia. Kentucky's now 3-2.
Next up, on the road at home against Texas. The losing streak, unfortunately, grows to 3. I will take Texas. I think Arch Manning's probably going to be one of the best quarterbacks in the SEC this year. So I'll take Texas on the road over Kentucky.
As much as I want to do it, I cannot pick Kentucky over Texas. Texas is just too good. They have too many athletes. But Kentucky's still a respectable 3-3.
Next up, at home against Tennessee. I think that's where the losing streak will end. I will take Kentucky to get the win over Tennessee.
Man, like your trained monkey. I agree with Scott again. I think Tennessee's going to come in overconfident. I think Kentucky defends them, and then Kentucky gets the win at home and goes 4-3.
Next up, on the road at Auburn. I will take Kentucky. Auburn's got one of the worst recruiting classes in the SEC. I mean, South Florida's got a better recruiting class this year than Auburn. UCF's got a better recruiting class this year than Auburn.
Wow.
I will take Kentucky on the road at Jordan Hare against Auburn.
I don't know why I'm here because I keep agreeing with Scott. I agree.
We'll disagree at some point.
All right. Auburn has definitely had a down recruiting class. Kentucky gets the win on the road, goes 5-3.
Next up, on the road at home, my bad, against Florida. Here's where I think we might disagree for the first time. I will take Florida. DJ Lagway's going to be too good this year. I think Florida could be on their way to making the college football playoff this year. I will take Florida to get the win on the road at Kentucky.
Terry, as much as I want to, I cannot go against my Gators. Okay. I'm so sorry. I got to take the Gators on the road, but Kentucky's still 5-4.
Yep, I agree. Next up, at home against Tennessee Tech, my buddy Terry Jewell said if they can make a bowl game, he'll be happy. So I'm going to give him that. I will take Kentucky to get a win on the at home over Tennessee Tech.
I didn't know Tennessee Tech was a school.
Yeah.
So I like Kentucky's chances here. Kentucky goes 6-4.
Next up, on the road at Vandy. Unfortunately, Terry, I will not take the Wildcats here. I think Vanderbilt's going to continue the momentum they had at the end of the season last year. Diego Pavia is probably going to be one of the best quarterbacks in the SEC this year. So I will take Vandy at home over Kentucky.
I'm going to disagree with Scott here. I think Kentucky goes on the road and beats a Vandy team that overachieved last year. I don't think they can recreate that magic. And Kentucky, in my opinion, 7-4. For Scott, they're 6-5.
Next up, on the road at Louisville. It's a toss-up game, but every toss-up game I will give to Kentucky. I will take Kentucky to get the win on the road at Louisville.
I can't pick against Terry Jewell in a rivalry game. I know how much he wants to beat Louisville. So give me Kentucky against Louisville, and they're 8-4.
For me, they'll finish 7-5. So still a good season though.
That's a bowl.
Yep.
They're bowling.
First game now into the Pittsburgh Steelers schedule. First game of the season on the road at the Jets. A little bit of a scare today with the Jets, with Justin Fields having a injury on his big toe, but he'll be back. They said it's not.
No.
They said it will not be major, so he will be playing in this game, but it will not matter. Aaron Rodgers is out for revenge in this game. It's a revenge game for both quarterbacks. I'm going to take the better team here. That would be the Pittsburgh Steelers to get the win on the road over the Jets.
I think the Jets are going to have a very good defense this year, but they're going to be offensively challenged as they have been for years. I also like the Steelers to go 1-0.
Next up, at home against Seattle, I will take the Steelers. I think Seattle's going to take a step back this year. They don't have a great offense this year, so I will take Pittsburgh to get the win over Seattle.
I agree with Scott again. I think the Steelers at home, Seattle traveling east. The Steelers get the win, go 2-0.
Next up, on the road at New England, I think the undefeated hope ends here. I will take the New England Patriots to get the win here at home. I think Drake May's going to have another good season, so I will take New England at home over Pittsburgh.
I like Mike Vrabel. I think it was a good hire, but I think it's going to take him a while to get this turned around. I think the Steelers go on the road and beat a Patriots team that's probably not going to be very good.
Next up, they host the Minnesota Vikings at 9:30 game, so that hurts a little bit for Pittsburgh to lose a home game. Don't know where that game's going to be played. I think that might be the first Monday game of the season. But that's a 9:30 a.m. kickoff, so I'll be enjoying my breakfast as I watch that game. I'm going to take Minnesota. I think J.J. McCarthy is going to prove to people why he was so good at Michigan. So I will take Minnesota to get the win over Pittsburgh.
I am not sold on J.J. McCarthy. I think, in my opinion, he was a little overrated coming out of school. Played on a very good team. I think he's going to disappoint in his rookie season, and I'm going to take the Steelers to go 4-0. Scott's got him 3-1.
Yeah. Next up, at home against the Cleveland Browns. We'll agree here. I'll take the Steelers to get the win here at home over the Browns.
The Browns have like 9 quarterbacks. None of them are any
None
good.
of them are good.
Yeah, and the Steelers. I don't think Aaron Rodgers is particularly great, but at least they have a number 1 quarterback. So give me the Steelers to go 5-0.
I think I have them at 3-2, so that's still a good start.
4-1.
Okay. Yep. Yeah, I think they'll split between New England and Minnesota, so you're right. Yep. Next up, on the road at Cincinnati, Joe Burrow's out for revenge this year. Joe Burrow knows that he needs a defense this year. So I'm going to go with Cincinnati to get the win at home over the Steelers.
And I'm going to say this is going to be the Steelers' first loss, division game against Cincinnati on the road. I got to go with Joe Burrow in this one. Sorry, Terry. I think the Steelers at this point are 5-1.
Yep, 4-2 for me. Next up, at home against Green Bay. I think that's another loss. I think Jordan Love is probably one of the best quarterbacks in the NFC. So I will take the Packers to get the win over the Steelers.
Who's at home?
Pittsburgh.
Give me the Steelers at home. I think this is going to be a close one, field goal kind of game, but I like the Steelers to go 6-1 here.
Okay. Next up, at home against Indianapolis, I will take Pittsburgh. I think AR5 is probably not going to have a great season again. Anthony Richardson's been hurt since he came out of college, out of Florida, so I will take Pittsburgh at home over the Colts.
I agree. I think the Colts are a rudderless ship without a quarterback, and I like the Steelers to go 7-1.
Next up, on the road at the Chargers. This is a lose-lose scenario here for me. I have one friend on each side of the game here. So I guess I'll just take the better team, and that will be the Chargers. I will take Justin Herbert and the Chargers to get the win at home over the Steelers.
Terry, I'm sorry. I think the Chargers are going to be one of the better teams in the NFL this year. So I think the Steelers will get their second loss to go 7-2.
Next up, at home against Cincinnati, I think that's another loss. I think Joe Burrow's trying to get it back into the playoffs this year with Pittsburgh, with the Bengals. So I will take the Bengals to get the win on the road at Pittsburgh.
I think Pittsburgh actually gets the win here. They're going to split with Cincinnati. I believe that makes them 7-2 or 8-2.
Yep. Next up, at home on the road at Chicago. I will take Pittsburgh to find a way to get a win here. I think the Bears are a team that's on the rise right now, but not quite there yet. So I will take Pittsburgh to get the win over the Bears.
I'm going to agree with Scott again. I think Pittsburgh gets the win, and at this point in the season, they still only have 2 losses.
Next up, on the road at home against Buffalo, I will take the Bills. I think Josh Allen is in for another MVP caliber season. So I will take Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills to get the win on the road in Pittsburgh.
This is my upset special of the season. I think the Steelers get the win at home. It was at Buffalo. I take Buffalo, but at home, get those terrible towels going. Give me the Steelers.
Next up, on the road at Baltimore, I will take Lamar Action Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens, who probably have the best roster in the NFL coming into the season. So I will take the Ravens at home over the Steelers.
As much as I don't want to do it, I've got to take the Ravens here. I think they're just too good at home, and I agree with Scott. They definitely have one of the more talented rosters in the league. So the Steelers at this point have 3 losses for me.
Next up, at home against Miami, I think that's a win. I think Tua will probably be hurt by this point in the season. The Dolphins are probably going to be a little bit of a dumpster fire this year, so I'll take the Steelers at home over the Dolphins.
I'm going to agree with Scott. I think the Steelers get the win here. I think Miami is going to be an average team at best, 500 at best.
Yeah.
So give me the Steelers here.
Next up is as they head into Detroit to take on the Lions. Nope, I will take Jared Goff and the Lions. I think the Lions are going to find a way to get a win here on the road at home over the Steelers.
Again, Terry, as much as I'd like to, I got to take the Lions in this game. They're too talented. They're playing at home. If you guys are at home, I might give you the game, but still only have 4 losses in the season so far.
Next up, on the road at Cleveland, I will take the Steelers. I think the Steelers are a better team than the Browns. So I will take Aaron Rodgers to get the win on the road in Cleveland against the Browns.
I agree. Cleveland is probably going to be dysfunctional all year. Give me the Steelers on the road against the Browns.
Next up, at home, Sunday Night Football probably against Baltimore. Not enough. I'll take Lamar Jackson and the Ravens to get the win on the road here against the Steelers.
Is that the final game of the season?
Yep.
So I think that this is going to be for the division, potentially. I'm going to take the Steelers in a home game against Baltimore to go 13-4.
I think I got them at 12-5, so that's still a playoff team this year. I think they'll probably finish 3rd in the division, 12-5, 11-6, somewhere in that range of predictions here. And that will do it for this episode of Scott's Wing Sports Today, ladies and gentlemen. Tragic news today for all my fellow wrestling fans. Hulk Hogan has passed away. Very, very sad. It was a pleasure to see him live before he died. So my heart goes out to the Hogan family, and very sad today.
Very sad.
Yep. Next week we will be back with the. We will be doing the Kurt Esser special next week, as it'll be the Indiana Hoosiers and the Indianapolis Colts next week. So we will see you guys right back here next week on Scott's Week in Sports. See you later, guys.
See you, Terry.